A scooper is claiming that DC is worried that Aquaman isn't guaranteed money, and if it doesn't make that money, it could see Jason Momoa recast if the film flops. This new rumor comes from Scooper Thwip T over on X, who reported at the beginning of October Aquaman being in the DCU is fully dependent on the film's box office. Earlier this year, he was in the plans for DCU, but as each DC film flopped, they're worried that Aquaman isn't guaranteed money anymore, and if and if it flops, he'll be recast. Speaking of Jason Momoa, there as Aquaman. I definitely think that is a high probability. It's likely that they might have already counted their chickens and realized, hey, you're not staying as Aquaman. We might find you a different role in our new DCU. This Aquaman movie is pretty much just going to be a loss, and they're kind of writing it off already. But let's get into some of the details here. I do think there is some validity to this rumor, as Momoa appeared confident he would remain as Aquaman in the new DCU that James Gunn and Peter Safran are crafting. He told Deadline back in January, I love James Gunn, and so there's going to be some really cool things what they're doing with DC, and I definitely will be in more than just one. There's room for me to play a couple different roles. I've seen other actors do it. Yeah, I want a shot. I've seen other actors do it. Yeah, I want a shot. He kind of reiterated. So he would then reiterate that to Variety, saying, I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and taking crap. There might be some other characters too. I can play other things too. I can be funny and savage and charming once in a while. So he clearly was saying he thought he had the role of Aquaman still on lock, and that he was also going to be able to explore other opportunities, most likely Lobo. That has been the biggest rumor. DC Studios CEO James Gunn did leave it open for actors to reprise the characters they've played in the past. He recently posted this earlier this month. It might have been at the end of September. Not really sure. Threads sucks on their dating when you take screenshots and stuff. But he posted on Threads. He said, yes, some actors will be playing characters they've played in other stories, and some plot points might be consistent with plot points from the dozens of films, shows, and animated projects that have come from DC in the past. But nothing is canon until Creature Commandos, that's what CC stands for, and Legacy, he's shortening Superman Legacy. However, in a follow-up post, he did confirm that Xolo Maridueña will continue playing Blue Beetle in the DCU, as Viola Davis will Amanda Waller, and John Cena will Peacemaker. So maybe throwing a little bit of a wrench into the rumor that it was continuing on the box office doing well for Aquaman. Clearly, Blue Beetle did not perform well. Gunn's comments were made after the absolutely abysmal performance at Blue Beetle at the box office, but has confirmed that Maridueña will still play Blue Beetle moving forward in his DCU that he is crafting. Just to give you some context here, Blue Beetle only grossed $128.4 million at the global box office, and there have been a range of production budgets anywhere between $105 and $125 million. So it has lost a lot of money for Warner Brothers Pictures. But moving on, it does seem like you can also look at this here. Gunn's comments confirm Maridueña, confirm Viola Davis, confirm Cena, but don't confirm Jason Momoa. And in fact, we got a report from Variety earlier this month that said none of the stars cast by Zack Snyder for 2016's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice and 2017's Justice League, including Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, and Momoa, will reprise their roles in the new DC universe in characters. So they're claiming that he's already out and he's not playing Aquaman anymore. However, that same report did indicate that Momoa may return, just not as Aquaman. Sources say the actor has engaged in talks to play Lobo, either in the 2025 reboot Superman Legacy, written and directed by Gunn, or in a standalone film. There's not been a Lobo film announced, but Superman Legacy has been announced, and they are working on it. And then, just kind of as a cherry on top, we had a rumor from Jeff Snyder back in February. He was kind of reacting to a bunch of the rumors that they were really bad test screenings for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And then he said, I hear it's terrible, referring to the movie. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is terrible, and that's why Momoa is going to be Lobo going forward, but they can't say that yet because then it would be a lame duck, and DC is hoping to bring another $1 billion out of the box office. First one was awful too, so not a huge surprise. He's absolutely right. The first Aquaman film was terrible. Zack Snyder did an absolutely terrible job at casting Jason Momoa as Aquaman. He is not Arthur Curry. He is not Aquaman. He's not this bro surfer guy that Jason Momoa depicts him as. Arthur Curry is a man who is heavy that wears the crown, a very serious individual for the most part in like the traditional comic book adaptations that you read if you actually read the comic books. As far as They think that they weren't going to, that they thought they might get another billion out of it. Well, I think that ship has clearly sailed, given the fact that James Gunn announced that none of these movies meant anything. Moving forward with the DCU. Since then, we've seen Shazam Fury of the God lose tens of millions of dollars. The Flash lost probably hundreds of millions of dollars. And Blue Beetle has lost tens of millions as well. And it's likely that Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom will lose tens of millions, potentially hundreds of millions, given the fact that it probably has an elevated production budget, given the fact it's been delayed so much and reshoots and things like that. So, what do you think of this rumor about Jason Momoa not reprising his role as Aquaman if Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom does not perform well? Let me know in the comments below.
Subscribe for more.